Hi, everybody. Sorry, I broke Al right before we pressed go live.
Oh, no. I'm normal. It's fine. Oh, my God.
Just the wire really quick. So, hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Hi.
Woo!
Episode 51. Yeah.
Yeah. So just starting things off with a little, state of the podcast, whatever. If you listened to the postscript for this last episode and or checked our social media, we are taking a little bit of a mid-season hiatus. We're very sorry about that. I've been having a lot of family issues happening that has slowed down my editing a lot. So we need time to get through our editing backlog and deliver the best possible product for the end of the season. So 3 weeks until we get off that cliffhanger. We have some fun stuff happening though.
We're gonna make one of our Patreon bonus episodes public.
Yeah, it's gonna be Lorelai and Courage Take Him
Yeah, I think we
right?
decided on that.
Yeah.
I think we were between Lorelai and Courage and Raven and Arave.
Yeah.
But that's going live in not this Friday, but next Friday. Psyched for that. Very excited. We're going to be putting up some playlists, both on our Patreon and publicly. It's going to be good. Very hyped.
Okay.
If I could speak, I would be fucking unstoppable.
So let's get into it.
And we still have the keychain giveaway going on our Twitter. Keychains. Love them. They're very good.
Babies.
So the playlist. The playlist. Oh my God, the playlist.
I don't think it's the most evil one we've ever done, but it's getting there.
As a scene setter for the beginning of the episode for pretty much everybody. Also kind of a Kalessa song, but we had Luna by the Mountain Goats. It's a good scene setter for the embassy thing.
Because it talked a lot about things being on fire.
Yeah.
We know that's dark. We're sorry.
We're sorry. Burn hard. Smoldering pieces landing in the yard. Trace names and ash. Big names, old friends, and dead ends. Yeah. Those last few frames go down so fast. Rise through the flames that end again in flames at last. Yeah. Luna by the Mountain Goats. We're normal. Oh, goodness.
We have 2 explicitly Kalessa tracks on the playlist because this is Kalessa's big day, deeply derogatory.
That's a Joker arc.
The first of the 2 Kalessa songs was Fire by Paris.
Yes.
Just the chorus of "You're out of line, buried yourself alive and expected to be fine. You can't rewind while you're choking on your own dirt, begging for your life. Your bridges are burning and all the tables are turning. You started a fire and you're burning up." Yeah. This was
rough.
all.
It's rough.
This song was all about just like Kalessa's rage and the things that drove her to her Joker activities.
Oh, goodness. You know what? I think Kalessa can commit a couple war crimes. I think that's fine.
As a treat.
It's a treat.
And then
she's allowed. Who's gonna stop her?
So true. And then the next one, we had a couple friends yell at us very loudly for this, but it's "I'll Die Anyway" by Girl in Red. I guess I could say I've learned to live this way, but it's still hard to find reasons to stay alive. Accepting I'm pointless isn't the hardest when it's so completely obvious. My questions are countless, looking for answers. So far, I'm clueless. Go back to sleep. I reach for me, but I'm not there. It's so lonely, but who cares? It's fine. It's okay. I'll die anyway. That one was
having a hard episode. She's having a hard couple of episodes.
Yeah, that one was more focused towards the Fee and Kalessa scene in the study. And then directly after "I'll Die Anyway" by Girl in Red, what do we have, Al? What violence did you commit? Tell them what you did.
So I was trying to think of something. I was trying to think of good vibes for Fee songs this episode, and I was in my head thinking, I feel like this episode playlist needs a little bit of Lara Jane Grace, needs a little bit of that vibe on it. So I looked at Lara Jane Grace's solo album, and
tell them what you picked, Al.
And I picked the track "Old Friend" (Stay Alive) by Lara Jane Grace.
Oh.
Oh.
Directly after "I'll Die Anyway" by Girl in Red.
Yeah. Old friend, I'm losing my mind. Watching the days burn into years. Watching the years burn dry. Please stay alive. Please stay alive. Please stay alive. Please survive. Say goodbye while you still can. Fight against the hopelessness. Keep rising up till the pain is gone. Don't make any promises. Yeah, every lyric of the song. Build a world inside a shell. I'm feeling just as hollowed out. I don't belong anywhere I go. Always the outsider. Yeah.
I feel deranged.
So Ferrara, my beloved. Oopsie. Okay, you know what? You want to roast me? Go ahead. Tell them about this song. Go off. Go ahead.
I feel like it's not as bad.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, Leo's sad, and in other news, a bear shits in the woods. Like, I'm not telling them anything they don't know at this point. Anyway, the Leo song for this episode is Dust and Gold by Arrows to Athens. And that was just based around kind of the scene where they got arrested, and also the scene in the garden before they went to bed. It's down to me and you in this cold and empty room, forgotten what we're dying for. Just tell me what to change. Just tell me what to say, because I can't feel it anymore. Don't let go yet. Don't settle for less than everything you are. All I see are kings and thieves when all I own is just dust and gold. Yeah. But
everybody's doing great.
Yeah.
We're feeling great.
Wow, were you guys shocked? Are you taken by surprise? Leo's sad.
Oh, goodness. Okay, and the end track. Oh, here we go.
We had like a 20-minute debate over whether or not this was going to be the end track.
Yep.
Because previously we had it on the episode 11 playlist.
Yeah.
But then we listened to it, and the musical aesthetic, like,
was so good for the end.
Just whopped us so hard in the face that we were like, okay, we're sacrificing it. It has to be the end track for this episode.
Yeah.
It's The Yawning Grave by Lord Huron. I'm telling you guys, go listen to the song. I have never listened to it the same way since we did this. I get chills every time I listen to it now.
Yeah.
It's from the point of view of the gods. So this is us hearing from Kimmerl and Kiva. God, it's just every fucking lyric of this song.
Listening to it musically is important. If you listen to nothing else off this playlist, listen to
The Yawning Grave
by Lord Huron.
Yeah. I know the rain like the clouds know the sky. I speak to birds and tell them where to fly. I sing the songs that you hear on the breeze. I wrote the names of the rocks and the trees. Oh, you fool, there are rules. I am coming for you. Darkness brings evil things. Oh, the reckoning begins.
I tried to warn you when you were a child. I told you not to get lost in the wilds. I sent you omens and all kinds of signs. I taught you melodies, poems, and rhymes.
And then there's an overlaid, like a voice layering effect, because there's a big, like, orchestral hit that my little ADHD brain, like, does my animatics to, where, like, I can imagine it just smash cutting to the top of the lighthouse there at the end of the episode. And in that big final chorus with the orchestral stuff under it, there's like a voice layering effect where it's like doing the chorus again, the "Oh, you fool, there are rules, I am coming for you." But there's a layered over line that says, "You can run, but you can't be saved. You have opened the yawning grave."
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen to the song. It's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rough. But yeah, that is the end track. Was we made a choice, and you know what? I stand by it. So that's the playlist. Moving into the questions.
Tell us about the dragon. Tell us about the dragon. We can't tell you a lot about the dragon.
We can't tell you that much.
Because you're gonna find out specifics about the Eldritch Death Dragon in about 3 weeks when episode 10 drops. I mean, I think we were heavy-handed enough with the implications that we can say that thing is what Kimmerl and Kiva are.
Yeah.
Without altering their appearance.
Yeah.
Like the Kimmerl and Kiva we have been seeing since the beginning of the show has been how they choose to present themselves to people that can see them. But because Fee and Leo had been sucked into their little like celestial demiplane where they live, like that thing is what Kimmerl and Kiva actually look like.
Yeah. We will get into more detail about that
in a few weeks.
But like, I think we were pretty heavy-handed with the eyes and with
the layered voices. And
yeah.
Kimmerl and Kiva are what happens when a gem fusion from Steven Universe goes really, really, really wrong. And we'll figure out why and how that happened in a few weeks.
In episode 10 of the season. In episode 52. Next question was, tell us about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood inspiration. No reason. I mean,
we've drawn a couple things.
Yeah. Aesthetically, obviously, I've said Mia was inspired by Envy. Yeah.
A lot of the way Kalessa, a lot of the ways that Kalessa casts magic is kind of like Roy Mustang flavored. We did a lot with the snap, spark, spark. It's time to light up the diggy, diggy tar.
I hate. Do not remind me. Do not remind me about that. Stop. That is a reference to a thing.
It's a reference to an old outtake, like a blooper from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. But
it's in my head now. Okay.
But and a lot of the like, I think political sentiments thematically, like you could draw some parallels to Full Metal Alchemist, but like there are certain things that I would say are more like kind of just tangentially related to it more so than we were like, we are ripping off this thing from Full Metal Alchemist. Like,
like we didn't really want to do that.
We ripped off Mia's whole like aesthetic pretty much. Yes, but
that's not all of Mia's aesthetic. I'm trying to remember what else I was citing the other night. Oh. I'm not going to be able to remember, but there are like a couple characters that I have in my brain cited for Mia, and I can't remember the other ones because it's just Envy from Full Metal Alchemist.
So true.
I am what I am.
Oh, we've said Catra too.
Yeah. And Double Trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Catra and Double Trouble of Shira fame. Also have had some influences on like Mia's. I would say Mia's character design.
Yeah.
I would love to if we get the funds at some point to do like an official Mia art. I think that would be fun.
Fun. It'd be funky. We'll see. But that I think that's the extent of the inspiration we took from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Also, Olivier, I'm sure, is in there somewhere.
For Mia?
Not for Mia. Just in general, I feel like Olivier is something that we took inspiration from. We're queer.
I always take inspiration for everything from Olivier Mira Armstrong, queen of my heart. Queen.
Our next question was, also, for everyone still in the courtroom, can they see Leo and Fee still and the places in their head? Or did they just like go poof and physically appear on that black beach place?
They physically went
poof. They are in the not the real like the full celestial plane, but they are in a demi-plane where Kimmerl and Kiva reside. They're in the place where Kimmerl got summoned from when he was in the middle of watching his soap operas.
Yeah. Remember when Kimmerl showed up at the bathroom? They're in Kimmerl and Kiva's apartment right now, essentially.
Basically, yeah. They are not physically in the courtroom any longer.
And I think that's also very funny because we Woody, stop. Our dog is trying to dig up our
Lay down.
recliner. Jeez, dude. But the funny part about that strikes me now is we have now established that like the Eldritch Death Dragon is like what the Death Twins actually look like, which means when Kimrel did pop up in the bathrobe reaching for a mimosa.
Oh, okay.
Stop. Okay, just let him go. He'll be fine.
I was trying to pick him up. He didn't like it.
But yeah, when he appeared in the bathrobe reaching for the pina colada, he made that choice. That was a choice that he made.
Well, I think just because they summoned him specifically.
Yeah, in spirit. He was in the yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that divine intervention, like Leo used that divine intervention with the sentiment of we need to get the fuck out of here. And then it worked, so Kimrel and Kiva got them the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Wow.
Buddy, please. He's being a very fussy boy.
Yeah. He's having a very trying day.
Here, I'm gonna go put him on the couch. Because at least if he's scratching over there, we won't be able to hear it. Stop.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said they're horrible, horrible roommates. I'm screaming. Kimrel watching his funny little Turkish dramas as a horrible Eldritch being. God.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. It's Days of Our Lives.
I do love the verbiage of their roommates, as if they do.
And they were roommates.
As if they're not sharing a body.
Or celestial consciousness, or however you want to put it.
However you put it. That's so funny. Our next question was, if it doesn't break the podcast in half, can you explain why about the dragon? So,
again, you'll discover this in more detail in a few weeks when episode 10 drops, but we have said before that something happened a long time ago where Kimrel fucked up really bad.
Yeah. Yep.
We have also made a very big point, like in podcasts, we've had Kiva and Kimrel have both said things about it like several times.
Yeah.
About one of our rules in our universe for deities is that they are compelled to act according to their nature.
Yeah.
And bad shit happens when they don't
do that.
Yeah.
Bad things happen when they act against their natures. And that's what we're going to say about that.
Sorry if that's not a thorough answer, but I promise you'll find out. We're not going to leave you hanging.
Somebody in the chat said, your wording is so careful, Barry. You know.
Of course I know. I'm one of the creators of the podcast.
You will know also.
You will also know.
In a few weeks. You know. Oh, goodness. And then tell us about your creative process when it came to this eldritch little guy.
I ripped Al like a Beyblade and said, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our outline for the episode, it just says in brackets, it's Al horror narration here. He just said go wild, and I said, okay. Sure. And I looked at foundational knowledge that we had about both Kimrel and Kiva and the overlapping knowledge that we had and like what we had established about what went down to create the eldritch little guy. And I went apeshit. And that's all. Yeah, it was very much, I was trying to make it unsettling and make it also very obviously Kimrel and very obviously Kiva. So like that kind of went into it. I was trying to like, that's why the skeleton was part of it. That's why like the void was part of it, because there's nothing in Kiva's hood that we've established that.
And then Kimrel's a skeleton.
And Kimrel's a skeleton. And we've established that. And I was trying to throw enough like
There's like throwing like
elements.
dragony things in there too.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
mentioned,
yeah,
like they're
yeah,
like
yeah,
having
yeah, yeah.
scales and like obviously
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
The shape of the thing is
Yeah.
a big bone dragon with 2 heads. Like
yeah. Like I was trying to throw enough in there that it was like you could both recognize that it was Kimrel and Kiva, and that it was obvious what was going on there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had fun with it. Barry ripped me like a Beyblade, and we just went.
Yeah.
And we recorded that scene in one take.
And also, I've been waiting for so fucking long to make the joke that I did on my Twitter earlier this weekend, where I said, I could finally drop the Forbidden Kimrel and Kiva lore. And I just posted a YouTube link to If I Didn't Have You from Quest for Camelot. For people who don't know what that is.
Since we first started doing the plot of this series, Barry has been making jokes about If I Didn't Have You from Quest for Camelot. I need you all to know that it's been a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, and for those of you who don't know what that is, Quest for Camelot is a very niche animated musical movie that came out in the 90s, and I was fucking obsessed with it as a kid.
Same.
And there are 2 characters in this movie that are a 2-headed dragon named Devon and Cornwall. And they have a whole musical number about how they wish that they could have separate bodies because they would be so much better off without the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny. We just thought it was fun. Our next question. Our next question was talk about Boreas' lawyer moment. And then we had another question that was, please tell us Boreas' lawyer stories.
I think he's a pro bono lawyer. Like he doesn't need the money.
He's just bored.
Yeah, he got bored and went to law school. Like he was being serious about that.
Yeah. Like I think Boreas spent a lot of time in Voldur when he first moved there, just kind of chilling out and collecting his books and being a recluse. And then like at one point he just woke up in the morning and he was like, I'm
bored.
So bored.
I think I'm gonna go to law school.
I haven't been like that autistic person mood of I haven't been challenged in like years. My brain is going in circles like a gerbil.
So he went to law school.
So he went to law school. I think he does like niche pedantic law mostly. Like he does like real estate law,
copyright law.
Like he's like the most niche pedantic bullshit that he can. He just jumps in on. He's Boreas.
He infuriates me. I love him so much.
I love him. But yeah, like just the most boring way to go about having a law career.
Yeah, this is the most exciting case he's ever worked for sure.
Yeah.
And also, we made sure to check that it is not actually a conflict of interest for him to legally represent his own niece and nephew.
Not that conflicts of interest in the real world matter in fantasy, but also like we did check because Barry thought it was, and I was like, no, bestie.
Well, because I work in a profession where me servicing somebody that I'm related to would be considered a conflict of interest. But so I didn't know if it was the same across the board or not. But
no, bestie. But yeah, this is the most interesting thing that has ever happened to Boreas.
And he hates it so bad.
And he hates it so bad. Somebody in the chat said, God, he can't stop being literally best character.
You know, of all the weird pulls for people to get attached to.
He's so funny. He's just a funny little dude. He's hilarious. I love Boreas a lot. Our next question was, how is the Hierophant chosen for that position? Okay, so the Hierophant, which is, as we met in episode 7, the current Hierophant is a 15-year-old boy named Sid Illidan, who is in the Beacon.
And is a shitty little man.
Just a shitty little boy. The Hierophant, if you've forgotten, is the head of the Asturian Church under the Archduke.
He's like the Pope.
Yeah, he's basically the Pope.
Yeah, like if Morland's the Holy Roman Emperor, Sid is the Pope.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Basically. But the selection process for becoming the Hierophant is someone that has an uncommon amount of proficiency with divine magic, like a natural lean toward it. They can't be a sorcerer. Like, sorcerers aren't chosen for it. It's always clerics. But Sid had a high level of proficiency, with divine magic from a young age. I think we said he was like the equivalent of like 10 or 11 when he got installed as the Pope.
No, when he got picked for the priesthood.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
10
yeah.
or
Okay,
11.
okay. When he got entered
Inducted into the priesthood.
He got
yeah.
inducted into the priesthood because he had a high level of proficiency with divine magic. And then once he was there, from the pool of people that were in the priesthood, he was just really good. He was just really good, and they could stick him on there for a long time.
Yeah, and because it's
Yeah.
kind of like with the Archduke, like you can only become the Hierophant when the previous one dies. Like that's how
Yeah,
the position
yeah,
gets
yeah.
vacated. And yeah, Sid was a little dude with fuck off powerful cleric magic.
Yep.
And also there were beacon influences.
Yeah, and
like,
also the beacon had kind of a hand in
Yeah.
it, and because Sid was also inducted into the beacon at a very young age,
Mhm.
obviously. But yeah, like, it was kind of the perfect storm of he had beacon connections and he was a beacon connection in the priesthood, and the position of Hierophant just happened to open up.
And he just happened to get picked for
And
it.
he just happened to get picked for it.
I mean, like, he was the strongest person,
Yeah,
like, magic-wise.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think if I would have to pull up his character sheet to remember. I think Sid is something like a level 18 cleric. And
He's multi-class, so not 18. But
no, we took away his multi-class.
Oh, did
remember?
we? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's straight cleric now.
Right. All right. Yeah, he's high. He's high level.
Yeah.
He's proficient. He's the Lorelai Shakrana of clerics.
Yeah. Sid has more cleric levels than Leo does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sid Illidan is the Lorelai Shakrana of clerics. He's and that combined with the beacon connections, he was the natural choice for Hierophant, from a lot of different people's perspectives. So there he is, Teen Pope.
I just hear
Teen Pope.
I just hear the Teen Wolf theme music every time you say Teen Pope now, and I can see like the logo.
God. Okay. Our next question. Our next question was, what would you have done if Leo hadn't rolled a 10 or under to get divine intervention?
Mia was going to do something.
Yeah, Mia was going to do something.
Yeah,
that was our plan.
Well, and that goes into, again, like how we've talked about the way we design these things. Like, we know we need to hit, narrative point, but there are several, we give ourselves several different avenues to get there.
Yeah.
So we knew at the beginning that it was highly statistically unlikely for that divine intervention to work, but we still had to get to a point. So we had to come up with other ways of like, okay, if this divine intervention doesn't work, here's what's going to happen instead. Yeah. And like that will have consequences and fallout of its own if that happens.
Yeah.
But then Fee rolled that nat 20 on religion and got to give Leo her rerolls, which was something we were not expecting. And I was not expecting that divine intervention to work. It's really cool how it did work out in the long run, but we had planned a big we were riding kind of on the idea of a big Mia reveal. As far as shit that's going on with Mia.
Yeah, we were planning on Mia to do something that would have had consequences for them. And like Mia was also planning to have to do that something, which is why they were so like
calm
and nonchalant in the courtroom. Yeah, if the divine intervention hadn't worked, then Mia would have done a thing and they would have gotten out of there a different way.
I'm trying to come up with a Shrek joke, but I'm
stop. Our next question was, talk about Kalessa if you can within the avoidance of heavy triggers.
Kalessa's not doing great.
Kalessa's not doing great. We've had this wildfire druid multi-class planned for Kalessa for a very long time.
Yeah.
But like we knew from the moment we decided to do it that like it was going to involve Kalessa being pushed to a really dark place. And like it was just kind of a matter of navigating that in a way that didn't do a disservice to her character, or that didn't like radically mess with her character as established,
and like really radically
Yeah.
change it, because
Yeah.
like something that's always going to always has been and always will be something that is so important to me
Mhm.
about Kalessa's character is that the foundation of her character is loyalty.
Yeah.
And that the foundation of her character is investment in the people she loves.
Mhm.
And we have been watching her lose people she loves and lose people she loves and lose
Yeah.
people she loves for the entire campaign now. And
Yeah.
examining what happens to a person who has so much of that loyalty and so much of that connection to the people that they are close to at their core, like what happens when they go through that repeated loss. Yeah, it goes to a dark place, you know?
Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, it was very much a matter of making it clear that Kalessa's motivation is always centered around the people that she loves and centered around how much love she has to give. But also, like, that's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
And like, I think that something that is fun about Kalessa is that is the direction that her moral compass points, which means that the shit she does is not always morally correct.
Good. Yeah.
But also, you know, I think she should be allowed to torture and murder a person. Just
yeah,
once.
like we make a lot of jokes about like, oh, girl
Yeah.
boss, but like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
trying very, very hard
Yeah.
to subvert that and trying
Yeah.
very hard to illustrate that the motivations behind those actions were deeper than yassification. if you get what I'm
God.
saying. Like
Yeah, like it was very much somebody in the chat said, just man, Kalessa has a limit and she passed it 2 weeks ago.
she passed it a long time before that. I mean,
like
she passed it when Soren died. She's just been kind of keeping up appearances since then. But like the spark that lit her wildfire druid levels happened when Soren died. Like
yeah, and then like this was kind of the point that
it was a
pushed her.
breaking point. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, and I think there's a lot to be said about how like absolutely what she did was wrong, and absolutely I don't think we have to say this. You shouldn't torture and murder people. You shouldn't commit war crimes. But also
Not a good
no, but also like very much we both wanted it to be an understandable escalation for Kalessa.
Of like she did this thing that was undoubtedly morally wrong.
Yeah. But
but given the motivations that she had, like it was
understandable.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Like that was kind of the line we were trying to ride, was this was fucked up, but you know what? Yeah.
Considering
I get it. I get it. This was fucked, but I get it. Which is a line that we're trying to ride a lot at the time. Like I think that's what separates. I think that's at the end of the day what separates our villains from everybody else, is that there comes a point where no matter how understandable your reasoning, you have done too many things that suck and are bad.
Moreland,
Alasha, Defiance. But I think Kalessa hasn't hit that point yet, and I think Kalessa has enough of a support network that is realizing that they have failed her a little bit,
and that now she's starting to go kind of off the shits.
Yeah. Like I think that was kind of what was going on there, was like I think in that moment Kalessa's whole support network realized, oh, we fucked up and did not support her, and now she has gone to lengths that were unpredicted.
Yeah. Well, and in the future, you know, after this whole thing gets resolved, we are going to see like the people in Kalessa's life making a more vested interest in being a support network.
More obvious effort,
and being there for her.
Yeah.
Because if they're not there for her, she's gonna do a lot of arson. So
Yeah, which is not to say that Kalessa needs to be managed by the people she loves or whatever, which is not to say that
no more than Leo does.
Yeah,
no more than
yeah,
Leo does. Like
yeah,
she and Leo have kind of a very similar
yeah,
trajectory.
yeah.
in
Like
that.
it's never something where we want to say, oh, these people are obligated to support this other person because otherwise they will commit atrocities. It's more like they go to very dark places when they are abandoned by the people they love, emotionally or physically. And I think it is something important that the people around them realize that, oh, this is also a sign of a failure on my part, you know?
No, because the way I've been waiting for a just thank you, Kalessa, but it never came, and now I'm like cries in my sleep. There is something about Leo's planned endgame for the end of the podcast that is going to make you happy cry fucking hard.
Yeah.
But I am silent.
But we are silent. No words. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is just very much with Leo and Kalessa especially, but with kind of the whole group. I think there are just moments where it's like, oh, things are bad, but I am still capable of and in a way obligated to show that I care about the people that I care about, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's just something personal.
Yeah.
There is something so personal.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we kind of saw, like, obviously the surrounding situation was not the same, but we saw Leo go through a similar kind of like Dark Night of the Soul thing where he literally tried to die. Like,
yeah. Like it is very much. I think Leo and Kalessa are the most volatile people in the greater group, and like that is a parallel between the two of them. That's very well. It's not fun, but it's interesting.
Well, no, and I mean, like Leo at least is pretty self-aware of that because he brought that up in the whole conversation with Kalessa of like, you and I have always had this connection where like we fuck up and we run to each other because that's who forgives us for being a fuck up. Like,
like I think the thesis statement with a lot of the relationships in the podcast are you need to support the people you love, and also supporting them means holding them accountable. But and then we had one more question from our patrons.
Okay, so this is the last one.
Yeah, and then it's open question time. Overall, how are you feeling about the season?
Stressed. If you want me to be honest, stressed.
I'm proud of everything we've put out. Like, I am proud of what we've been doing. I am proud of what we're continuing to do. I am excited to get to the ending.
We've hit a point in the season where the struggle has been really hard because we have done like 3 episodes in a row where it's like everything goes in this episode because you're not going to get the chance to do it again. And I think that honestly, that is the hardest thing that we have done in the whole podcast.
Yeah.
I think thus far is these episodes where it's like, get it in now.
Yeah.
Because you can't split the episode. You can't put it in another episode.
Yeah.
Because we've never really had to work under that kind of stress before. Because
the mid season has been very much that.
Yeah. Because, well, previously, like if we had something that ran long, we would split the episode. Or if we had something where it was like, oh man, like this particular plot element isn't like fitting in super well in this scene. It's like, okay, cool. We'll take that plot element and we'll move it to another episode.
Yeah. But
and we're dealing with like 3 episodes in a row where we just can't do that. Like,
like 9, 10, 11 have all been very jam-packed. And it's like the timetable, and 8 to an extent, the timetable is as such that we just cannot move things around. So it's been very...
And it's been like very overly structured and like kind of rigid in its structure because it's like, okay, we have to jam like all of this fucking lore drop in here while still maintaining a narrative structure. And like, I'll go ahead and admit it. In 10 and 11, we're not playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
We are just telling a story.
It's just lore drops.
It is collaborative storytelling. We don't roll a single die in 10 or 11.
Yeah. Because there's so much.
There's
lore.
no room for error.
So much. Yeah. Like it, not to spoil the episodes, but there was so much lore that we had to get in that like we did not have the luxury of like
failing a religion
actually-
check.
Yeah,
or like,
yeah. Like it was just we had to get the lore drops in, like because those are the two biggest lore drops of the podcast
Mhm.
are gonna be 310 and 311. When we finished 311, I was just like sigh of relief. It's done.
And we
It's
actually, and then
finished.
when we recorded 12, it was so nice to fucking play D&D again.
yeah.
But
After the lore drops, but
it was like a monkey's paw situation because we like
rolled
sat down
like
to
6 nat ones.
yeah, we sat down to record 312 and we were so happy. We were like, yeah, we finally fucking get to play D&D again. Like we've been so stressed out doing these lore drop episodes. It's been so structured. This is like a fun one-off episode. I'm excited to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we both played the worst fucking game of D&D we've ever played in our goddamn
I was
lives.
sitting here just screaming.
Al actually blew out their throat. We had to record the episode over 2 days because they rolled like their fourth nat one of the day and just sat down on the couch and put their face in a pillow and screamed until their voice gave out.
Yeah. I couldn't keep recording that night because my voice was not there. It was gone. I couldn't.
So I'm going to be doing an elaborate cleansing ritual on our dice before we record next Sunday.
God. But yeah, the lore drop episodes I'm very proud of. I'm also glad that they're finished.
God, they were a bitch though. I'm gonna be straight with y'all. They're gonna be good.
Difficult.
They're gonna be good.
We're proud of them.
Sucked to
They were
record.
bad to record. We're proud of them. We had fun, but they're like, so hard to record. There was so much shit. Oh my god. We're excited for y'all to hear the lore drops.
Yeah, I just finished the edit on 10, and it's
really good. I liked it. It's good.
I have not
Delicious.
touched. I will spend the rest of my night doing first cut on 11, the raw audio of which is 3.5 hours.
Yeah. I was gonna say, wasn't the raw audio over 3 hours for 11?
3.5.
11's gonna be a long one. It might not be longer. It might be longer than Off the Rails. It might not.
It's probably gonna fucking be longer than Off the Rails. I'm gonna have to cut an hour and a half of audio for it to not be longer than Off the Rails. Yeah, it's gonna be longer than Off the Rails.
Yeah. That's fair. We've been trying really hard not to hit 2-hour episodes, but like
We're
311,
probably
we
going to.
can't cut anything.
They can't. Yeah, there's so much information in it. None of that information can go. And
all of you that like theory crafting will enjoy it, though.
Yeah. Because it connects things. It connects dots going back to episode 1. I mean,
it's all connected. Oh, it's all coming together.
It is all connected, and 11 is where all of those dots finally get connected in terms of most of the things.
Yeah,
there are a couple more twists,
but
there
are a few things that are not resolved. There are a few more. Somebody said, didn't you say next episode is the stars?
Yeah, sure is.
Yep. Again, when we say the stars, we're talking about the cosmological math that I did that people have extrapolated to mean the stars. But yeah, the reason that I did cosmological math is revealed in, I'm doing the fruitiest little hand gesture, in episode 10 of season 3.
Yeah, I think people are theorizing that the cosmology is more important than it is when it really is just one little piece.
Yeah, we can't talk about it, but yes, the thing that I've been secretive about the cosmological math that I did will be revealed in episode 10. That's part of the lore drop. Oh. Wow. Oh goodness. But
all right, so yeah, we're gonna keep riffing, but open question time in the chat.
15 minutes. But yeah, 10 and 11, we're very proud of the end product, but man. Somebody in the chat said, I mean, I'm guessing it's not as important as maybe Mia, but stars.
Mia is important, and you'll find out why.
Somebody in the chat said, finally, dragons on the sun.
There are no dragons on the sun that we know of. Hate to burst your bubble.
The sun is the sun. Oh, goodness. Yeah. We're very excited for 10 and 11 to come out. Yeah, it doesn't resolve all of the secrets that we've been keeping.
All of the big ones, though.
Not all of the big ones.
Yeah, because
not all the big ones.
Yeah,
most of the big ones.
Most of the big ones.
Most of the things that people have been spending a lot of time theorizing about are revealed in episodes 10 and 11, is what I will say. Somebody in the chat said, fully believing my bestie Iggy has everything down to a T.
He sure believes he does.
Somebody in the chat said, how many episodes are there after 11? Just as an idea.
11.
Yeah, well, no, 10 after 11. Because 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Oh, okay.
21.
So yeah. So after 11,
10.
there will be 10 more episodes
10 more.
left.
The finale is episode 21 of season 3.
Knock on fucking wood.
We hope. Assuming that nothing gets to like 3 hours long and we have to split it. We hope. Oh goodness, we're hoping to round it out at 63 episodes.
But I mean, I don't think that we're gonna get to that point.
Yeah,
because now we have most of the big bad lore drops done. So now we can actually play Dungeons and Dragons again
for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So many the chat said there's still content to reveal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're halfway through the season. About. Oh goodness. We're halfway through the season. We have the two most massive lore drops of the series in 10 and 11, and then it's a straight shot to the finale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like the intent,
and there are a few things that will be revealed in 12 to 21, but
yeah, and like the intensity and the velocity definitely picks up after the events of 10 and 11, because like how could it not? Like
there's
like
a lot to do.
How could the situation not escalate after this? Like
there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. Leo and Fira wanted for murder.
And disappeared out of a courtroom.
Stop.
Hey, you guys want to feel something that's going to give you like agita in your heart? Leo disappeared on Zed again. Leo sure did disappear on Zed again. Zed was in the gallery.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah. Sad. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, it makes me so upset. Okay. I'm normal. Oh my god. Oh.
But yeah, so I think 11's probably going to eat my week this week because it's a big motherfucker of an audio. So
the chat said horrible Valentine's to have as comfortable fan. We feel good and normal
and great
and awesome. Wag. Wag. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so I think 11's going to eat most of my week, but Sunday we're recording episode 13, which is going to be fun for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. 13 also has a bit of a lore drop. 13 is one of the episodes in the back half of the season that has not the big overarching lore drops, but a few things. Somebody in the chat said, when do we get lorelai content? I need lorelai character conclusions. Episode 14 or 15, I think,
is when we kind of get her back in action.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like character conclusions and wrapping up her arc, that's the finale, baby.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
End of the series.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said Lorelai has yet to work through her trauma. She can do arson with Kalessa.
I mean, she could.
She could.
Should she?
Maybe not. But yeah, Lorelai's character conclusions are gonna be probably the finale. Yeah, like we are hoping, as long as nothing goes catastrophically wrong, to wrap everything up for everybody in a neat little bow at the end of the series.
Yeah.
So, excited. But we get Lorelai back in action in like 14.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yet Lorelai gets to cast a spell again in 14. It's been so long
She's
since
14.
Lorelai.
Of course, they've been leaving her at the house. She's 14.
Well, and for people that aren't $5 tier Patreon members, you will get to see Lorelai cast a lot of spells when we drop the bonus episode, because she does a lot of stuff in Lorelai and Courage Take Him Tarum. So
Yeah. It's fun to see Lorelai in a situation where she's not the youngest person in the room.
Yeah.
Because she gets having to look after an 8-year-old is the most stressful thing that has ever happened to her, including her parents getting put in prison and her brother dying. God. But yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, we're hoping to have nice. Somebody in the chat said Lorelai and Courage. Yeah, one of our bonus episodes for $5 tier patrons is why did I say patrons like a Swedish person? Anyway, patrons. One of our bonus episodes for $5 tier patrons is called Lorelai and Courage Take Him Tarum. And we're going to be that's probably the one we're releasing publicly. Not this week, but next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we could just call it and say it is at this point. Because like we had thought about putting up a poll, but like it feels kind of unfair to the people that are paying for the Patreon access.
Yeah, because Ravan and Arabe Solved Mystery was not that long ago.
So. Whereas Lorelai and Courage was a bit ago.
It was a bit ago. It was mid-season 2.
Yeah.
But so that one's going public. Exciting. But yeah, it's a very Home Alone 2 Lost in New York kind of situation.
Except it's 2 extremely powerful magic users, both under the age of 15. They get up to some shit.
It's fun. But yeah, we're very excited for that one to go public. It was a fun episode to record. We had a fun time.
I had to play a sorcerer, and that was not fun for me.
Barry doesn't like to play sorcerers.
I don't like to play sorcerers. They stress me out.
He had a bad time.
Meanwhile, guess what I fucking play in every bonus episode where I'm not playing Leo.
That's not true. You played Arabe and remained an Arabe.
And yeah, Arabe's not hard to play. Like the way that her Ranger Rogue multiclass works is not hard. But man, the 2 like real big ones that I got to play sure were sorcerers both times. I got to play Moreland for not 1 but 2 episodes.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said obligatory. How's Alasha doing right now? Negative.
She's thriving. Negative.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say she's thriving.
She's a messy bitch who lives for drama, and she sure does have drama, but
yeah. Alasha's having a time, is what I will say. We will see Alasha in a couple episodes.
Alasha's ready to brain her husband over the back of the head with a large book right now, I think, but
or a paperweight.
Oh,
this is so sad. Play No Children by the Mountain Goats. Hand in unlovable hand. Oh goodness. Morlasha. Beloathed. My beloathed Morlasha. Again, open question time, 5-minute and call. But oh my god. Somebody in the chat said Alasha trying to keep both her marriage and everything else together with putty and water.
And some chewing gum.
Yeah.
Maybe a little duct tape.
Spider-Man Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Somebody said Morlasha. Stay soft by Mitski. Interesting.
Huh.
Interesting. In my head, that's a Kalessa song. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Morlasha.
Deeply, deeply derogatory.
Yeah.
They suck.
Compels me, though.
Yeah. Same. It's like, wow, you guys are awful. I want to watch.
Yeah.
It gets my popcorn. Yeah.
I'm watching. Interesting. I scribbled down notes in my little notepad, like a Freud ripoff. Oh goodness. Oh, but yeah, I'm excited to, because like from this point we are not introducing any new mysteries. We are just revealing mysteries. We are just revealing information. And I'm excited for that because that means I can finally stop being quiet. I have employed so much willpower. Oh, finally, we may speak.
Like literally after 10 and 11 go up, we're just not gonna shut up ever again.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think the last thing
No,
that we can't
yeah.
talk about is 14.
Well, no, because after that we still have.
The thing with
Yeah.
But that's like one little thing, and like the grand scheme,
yeah.
like the thing that we are sitting on our hands and like covering our mouths so much about is in 14. And no one has called us on it yet.
No one. Somebody in chat said, question is like the dragon plane existing in real time, like 2 hours in there is 2 hours for everyone else. More or less.
Yeah, pretty
More
much.
or less.
Yeah, it's not like Leo and Fee are gonna get Rip Van Winkled. Like they're not gonna
Yeah,
come back into the world 100
yeah,
years later or anything.
Time is passing.
Yeah.
Time is passing both in the celestial demi-plane where Leo and Fee are and in the real world. I wouldn't say it correlates directly to the time that the episodes are going to take.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say there. I think that's not the amount of time that they are in there. It's flexible, but oh goodness. But yeah, I time is passing is what I will say about that. Somebody in chat said time is passing enough for Leo Zed. Negative. Why'd you say that?
Sure is.
Why'd you say that?
God, yeah, that's the question nobody's asked. How the fuck is Zed doing? How the fuck is Zed doing, Al?
Well, he's not happy. He's not happy is what I'll say. He's a little stressed. You know, I think he's entitled to be a little stressed out.
By a little
Zed Stone Blue go to a therapist challenge.
By a little stressed out, Al means Zed voice. If Leo survives this, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, pretty much. How's Kalessa doing with Fee disappearing?
Should we not be asking about how Sabine and the captain are doing?
That too.
You know, the people Fee's dating?
And Leo. I think we're gonna.
I think Alessa's numb
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
like, really.
Yeah. I don't think Kalessa. I don't think how Kalessa's doing is something she can process right now. I think. Yeah, but Kalessa Joker arc. Yeah. I think Kalessa is vacillating wildly between being completely numb about everything and feeling everything all the time right now. So, like, I think Leo and Fee disappearing is just kind of another thing on the pile. And I don't think... Here's what I'll say. I don't think it will be long enough that Kalessa will reach new depths of Jokerification.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat said, answer this as cryptically as you will, but where in the pod do I need to dig to prepare for 10, 11, and 14? Just for little theories.
9. Season 1, episode 9.
Season 1, episode 9. Season 1, episode 13.
Yeah.
Season 1, episode 13 and 15. Season 2, episode 11. And... everything we've said about
season 2, episode 17.
Yes. Everything we have said about the Dragon's Maw and what goes on there.
Yeah.
All of that. And as for 14, early season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say season 1, episode 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now we are silent. God. But yeah, 10 and 11, like we said, 10 and 11 are the biggest lore drops of the series. And like, we have been setting up for them the whole time.
1 minute call.
1 minute call. But like, yeah, 10 and 11, we've been setting up for the lore drops in 10 and 11 from the beginning. And so like, those are the big episodes that have a lot of relevant information, but like it's the whole show. It's the whole show.
I feel diabolical right now.
Oh goodness.
I feel evil.
Stuff. 10 and 11. Oh goodness. How's the season 2 crew doing real quick?
You're gonna find out soon.
You're gonna find out.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out. Leo and the captain told them to sail upwards towards Volder. They'll be back soon.
They'll be back soon.
Go find out. Find out.
I don't know. Are we doing a Q&A next week? We won't have anything to do a Q&A about.
Yeah, I think we had talked about not doing one next week.
Okay. So no Q&A next week, but we'll be doing one for Lorelai and Courage Take Him tomorrow.
Yeah. So we will see you in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.